folks. I've been watching some stuff, particularly American fiction. I watched recently, I guess maybe more than a week ago. Damn, time flies. But I haven't talked about it on stream yet. I don't really like American fiction too much. As you can see here, here's what I thought of it. This movie pokes fun at how our commercial world sensationalizes the black experience, but it too is devoid of any real class analysis. It's like this movie doesn't realize that it's appealing to the out of touch white upper class it purports to satirize. Like I'm not black. I'm uh, I guess you can call me a Latino space elf, um, but I felt like it wasn't quite as deep as I thought it was, and the satire was kind of shallow. People have said it better myself. I would recommend checking out what Bertrand Cooper says about this movie and other black pop culture. He's got some really good analysis. But basically, it's based on a book, and apparently the book has actually pays more attention to the class of these characters, and like actually kind of delves into that a little bit more. And how the main guy is like this university professor from an upper class family, right? And it kind of it does like address a little bit his experience versus um, other black folk or the culture in general who aren't in his class, right? And there's even a character that the book kind of puts out to be kind of like um, a faux academic scholar character who's played by Issa Rae, who does this book that's like, you know, a stereotype of black culture. And in the book, she's like seen to be more, as a bad character, as a bad, not ideal, kind of like a joke, But in the movie, kind of like makes her seem, more neutral and like perhaps a better character, a better person than the main guy. And I didn't read the book, but I just kind of like what I understand from the reviews and analysis I've read about it. Um, Mostly again from Bertrand Cooper here. Um, but yeah, like it seems like the movie is kind of like watered down a bit, and maybe it's made to appeal more to Hollywood, white Hollywood, and that's why maybe it's getting award nominations. But I didn't dig it. I couldn't really get past that. There's also like I feel like the brother character was also kind of like it's funny how like the movie um, is supposed to be kind of like you know poking fun at stereotypes, black stereotypes, but then it kind of like indulges in the gay stereotype for the brother without really much addressing that at all. And then like there's like a maid in the family that is gets a good amount of a screen time, but her experience versus the professor, like it's not really delved into or addressed that much, and like she seems like she's like a happy maid without any complaints. And it just felt a little weird that we didn't get her perspective at all, or the perspective of for example Issa Rae, writes this book, and her character, she talks about how she interviews black folk uh you know in the projects and stuff, and we don't we just she talks about it, but we don't get to see that perspective, not even a glimpse of that really. So I feel like it's it's almost like it's like thinks it's like really smart and commenting on silly white Hollywood that like stereotypes people of color, and to that extent it's certainly true, and there's a lot of truth in the movie in that respect, but it's lacking that class analysis. And I would recommend probably listening to this podcast, um, this revolution. They've got some good stuff. And here Bertrand comes and guest stars, right, on this podcast, and talks about it, and they go more deeply into it. They got some better perspectives than I ever will. So I don't know. That's the movie I watched. I haven't been watching too many movies since my binge of movie watching a couple weeks ago, getting ready for the Oscars. Pretty much caught up on all the Oscar movies. I think I need to watch the one that I want to watch before the Oscars is Zone of Interest. Though I don't know if I'll be able to see it because I think it's only in theaters right now. Maybe it'll come out on digital. But I've been watching some TV though. Um, on my Mastodon, I posted this link a while ago and how like this True Detective show, right? The new season came out, um, and through here does some good analysis here. I've been watching it. I kind of started watching it a couple of days ago. The new season. I'm up to like episode 4, I think. Tonight's the finale, which is episode 6. So I'm gonna watch 5 and 6 tonight. That's the goal. But I'm not really digging it so far. I like aspects of it. I like Jodie Foster, and then the other detective. She's a newcomer, I think, but she's pretty good. They're good actors. But yeah, it does have a tinge, a little smell, a little whiff of a bit, or maybe a big smell of propaganda a little bit. It's not really. It is a bit. It is definitely critical of those characters, but it's not critical of the system. It's kind of like, what she says here. Drew says, um, kind of sums it up a bit. You should definitely check out this article. But it's apparently like a reflection. Lopez, the creator of the season, Issa Lopez, he says it's like a dark reflection of the first season. And I actually rewatched the first season recently, um, and it doesn't quite hold up how it used to, right? And it's male focused. It's very from a chauvinistic perspective, really. And so this one focuses on two women detectives, giving you that point of view as well as the native experience of the natives of Alaska, right? Which is something that we've seen a lot these days, right? We got of course Killers of the Flower Moon. We've got Reservation Dogs just finished up last year. Echo, that Marvel show, you know, feels like it's a big cultural moment now for indigenous stories, which is it's pretty nice to see. It's a good, uh, I guess it seems like a trend, and hopefully we'll continue to see more of it. And it's not just a, a short trend, but it's good to see that perspective. It feels like TV and movies are finally tackling that in a more serious note. The genocide and the plight of the indigenous folks here in the Americas. But the show does deal a little bit with that. That's kind of like a backdrop, but also a central mystery to it, right? It has seems to have a lot more supernatural elements, which I'm actually digging. I kind of like the more supernatural stuff, you know. Um, and there's still a question of like whether is it supernatural or is it just dream sequency? Is it perhaps some characters have mental illnesses and they see things? Um, so it's still quite a mystery, and I'm interested to see how it ends. I definitely will see. Like I said, I'll see the ending, but I guess like the pacing and just like it just feels like derivative to a lot of cop shows, a lot of detective shows. With a little bit of a twist here and there, like the refreshing setting of Alaska and the two women detectives, like that's what makes it interesting to me, and so that's why I keep watching it. I'm still watching it, but the overall, you know, the rest of it is kind of like a standard procedural. Drew calls it here mediocre procedural masquerading as prestige TV. So I can kind of see that. I kind of want to finish the season before I, you know, uh, say too much about it because I don't quite know where it's heading. But there's definitely some good imagery in there. There's the corpsicle, which you might have heard of. Basically, a big mystery is like these scientists are found dead, frozen outside, like, and they're all frozen together, their bodies naked, like frozen as like almost like a popsicle of corpses. So that imagery is very haunting. So there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff. But we'll see where it goes. Um, it may end up being a little bit of whiff propaganda in there, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I was thinking of doing a longer video reaction on it after the finale, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm up for that. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just do a little quick reaction in one of these little pre-shows here on Twitch. We'll see. Chatting sessions. By the way, last time I talked about how Prime Video was, added that ad tier, and like you had to upgrade in order to get rid of ads. Basically, the inshiftification continues of technology, right? And streaming is becoming a lot more like cable. And it would seem that we're getting to that point, in the near future. A lot of these streaming sites are going to be bundled in, kind of like cable, and you're paying a bunch for a bunch of streaming shows instead of a bunch of channels. Streaming services, I mean. But they're definitely trying to get more money from their current users, hoping they'll upgrade, to their top tiers, I guess. And then if not, they're satisfied with people just watching those ads and getting that money that way, right? But recently, it actually happened late last year that Max turned off their 4K streaming on old plans, which included the plan I had. I have, like, basically, even if you had 4K for a while, they decided to take it away from you, which is kind of shitty. And you have to like upgrade now to get the 4K, the HDR, all that stuff, right? And I think I've had it for a while now. It's like, because my plan is like, I have AT&T for my internet, and the bundle I have includes, like, it was just included, Max is included, and so was 4K, right? And there was no ads and everything. But then recently with this change, with there's tiers, they have new tiers now. I basically got downgraded to this version, I guess, the one with this one that doesn't have 4K anymore. I was kind of surprised because I wasn't even notified or anything. It just kind of happened. Like, and I wasn't even been watching too much Max recently. And when I started watching True Detective again, I noticed it, that I no longer had 4K. And apparently it's like, hidden in the TOS or whatever. Like, they can change the plan whenever they want, blah blah blah. But if you have Max like I do with AT&T, or maybe if you're bundled with some other network or whatever, like, they don't even give you the option to upgrade. So basically, like, I'm stuck with the 1080p ad-free Max version, like, and to get the 4K, I would have to, like, I guess, start a new account or something. I don't know. I would have to, like, go directly to Max, and that's just a bit of a hassle, and I don't really want to do that. But basically, as it's been happening with other services, including even like the PlayStation Plus service, which increased their price, like, we're getting less than what we used to, and we're paying more for everything, it seems, these days, right? It's just a bit annoying, but basically, I decided to maybe, to just watch less Max. I probably will, it's because it's still included, even though it's like a lesser form, it's still included. And there's a lot of shows that are just 1080p anyways, so I'll probably keep using that for that. But for like 4K stuff, I'll go through other means, I'll get my friend Bonnie to let me to send me some shows in 4K, You know what I mean? Because, it's like, I already had that before. I feel like I've been gypped. Anyways, that's just a silly streaming capitalism news. I did today try to chill out this morning with some breakfast, some cereal. So I guess like replicating my past days as a youth, waking up and watching Saturday morning cartoons. Does that still happen for kids? I feel like that's no longer a thing anymore, right? Kids just watch cartoons whenever they want, um, with the with Netflix or whatever. And I've been watching this. I watched a couple episodes today, and you know, it's pretty cool. It's like basically like a adventure story, D&D campaign almost, of these adventures in the fantasy world, going out into dungeons and cooking up grub, basically from the monsters they defeat, right? And it's like a kind of like a novel idea. Like who would have thought? Like that's like interesting idea. Like a cooking anime show that's a fantasy show at the same time, and it's really fun to watch. Really cool, and I could live vicariously through that. I no longer consume monsters. I used to eat a bunch of monsters when I was a few years ago, but I stopped, and so I can live vicariously through the show and watch them cooking because I still enjoy some cooking shows and stuff every now and then. It's like a fun, relaxing little thing. I wish there was more like vegan shows. That would be cool, but like that's not a big audience. So every now and then I do that, and so every now and then I'll probably come back to this and just chill out and watch them. It's kind of funny too. Like it's like lighthearted. It's not like super serious, which is nice. I guess after something dark and dreary like True Detective, you kind of want to relax in the mornings. After last night, damn, I watched like episode 4 last night, I think, right? And that was depressing. Anyways, and it gets me thinking. I want to watch more. I want to watch more fantasy stuff. Like I haven't watched this yet, but I hear it is good. Frieren, another little elf girl show. Like damn, like this looks right up my alley. And apparently this one's like even more slice of life, more chill. Apparently this one's about like after they save the day, they defeat the big bad. This group of adventurers just relax and hang out in town, and then she's like an elf girl who like lives forever or for a long time, and so it's more about the passage of time and dealing with that. So I hear it's cool. I hear it's good. I don't want to know too much about it because I want to get surprised. I'll probably start watching that soon. There's something in my mind. Something in my mind. But back to Hollywood. Speaking of elf girls, Kristen Stewart. Whoa. Okay, so this I don't think it's the BTOS, right? She's fully clothed in this. But people are getting upset. Mostly like the incel types, like the Tim Pool types, those idiots. Like they feel like women should look a certain way, and like because Kirsten Stewart's being all gay, like they're upset she's not looking all feminine, like to appeal to their, what they think is beautiful, or whatever. Even though like this is pretty hot, like I don't know how you cannot find find her attractive here. People are a bit weird, but this has been all over the internet. I just wanted to mention it because I think this photo is cool. It's like a screw you to all the silly boys out there, I guess. Really good attitude. But there's a Rolling Stone issue doing there, and she's a good actress too. We've seen, and I liked her in Crimes of the Future, that Cronenberg movie that came out a couple years ago, maybe now. Doing pretty good stuff in there. We'll see. I want to see. I want to see more. I want to see where she goes. She's been picking good projects lately. Um, but yeah, let's continue with more Hollywood fashion, and in particular, the latest blockbuster coming out, Dune Part Two. There's a premiere that happened recently, and I gotta tell you, the fashion here was top notch. I mean, we're starting off with some Let's start off with like maybe the more basic looks, but recently Dune Part Two premiered, probably in L.A. We got Hans Zimmer here. That's Greta Gerwig, by the way. You know, friends of Timothy, friends of Florence Pugh, who are in the movie. Um, and then Hans Zimmer with is this a thruple? Is Hans Zimmer in a thruple? Is this something I don't know about? But he's looking like he's having a good time. Um, I do want to watch this movie. This might be one of those movies I actually go to a theater to. You know, it's like I haven't done that. I went to go see Barbie. I went to go see Poor Things. But since then, which was not that long ago, I guess Poor Things like in December or something. Um, there hasn't been really much movies that been caught my attention, but this might be one of those. I didn't really like part one that much. Like I appreciated it more than I enjoyed it, and because it felt like half a movie, and it ended abruptly a bit, I think. But I think maybe part two will redeem it, hopefully. You know, but I'm definitely captivated by this premiere, fashion red carpet we're getting to here. We're getting some good ones. This is not bad. It's some standard dress. You know, I'm not sure who she plays. I think she's new in the role there in the movie. Again, another more basic stuff. We got Stellan Skarsgård here. You know, with the basic black suit. Not kind of boring, but whatever. You know. Here we go. Leah Sadu. She's in this movie now in part two. Nice, nice dress with some flowy bits here and there. You know, can't go wrong. She's always looking good. Leah Sadu. We saw her in that Death Stranding 2 trailer recently. You think this, it'll get weirder in Doom Part 2? Probably not. Probably not. It's a little bit. That movie is like not super weird. It's just a little bit weird. Now we got Austin Butler here, dude. This is like he's never looked better. Like look at this freaking almost like dress jacket here. This blazer like going all the way down, and like some heels. Does he have heels there? Like damn, like this is some good men's fashion here. Like I wish like more of these Hollywood dudes would experiment more with this. Experiment more with the men's fashion. Make it more gowny, more dress like. Like are we really just gonna be seeing this for decades on end of just men in these boring suits like Men in Black? Like how about this? He's definitely the best dressed dude here at the premiere. Who's this? Some boring Josh Brolin dude. Then we got Rebecca Ferguson, looking good too. I think this one's a little bit a classy standard dress, an interesting design, almost like a woman with an arm going up here somewhere around her up over her shoulder or something. Kind of appearance. Interesting. She's always got a good classy looks. Rebecca Ferguson. And then we got Florence Pugh. She likes to mix it up, Florence Pugh. And this is a nice little gown here. Look at that. And I mean, she lives it up. She knows how to do it with the jewelry too, and the nails. That looks like a Dune character almost, right? Don't Dune characters have like flowy hoodies or something? I kind of forgot. I mean, damn. And then we got Anya Taylor-Joy, who's now in the film. I guess both Florence Pugh and Anya are new characters. There's a lot of new characters that I didn't realize was going to be in part two. I never read the books. I hear they're like super classic books. People have been talking about it forever. Lynch made that Dune in the late '80s or something, and that one was kind of everyone hated that one. And I saw that, leading up to the new Dune, and I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't Lynch's best, but it had some fun effects, some fun set design, and I kind of like the weird aesthetic more, compared to Dennis is here, Dennis Villeneuve's Dune. Like this Dune, just this universe just seems a little bit more like unsaturated, desaturated, like kind of like just like a lesser boring version of what maybe like Lynch had in mind. And maybe it's more grounded down to earth, down to Dune, to compared to the book. Maybe that's what they wanted to do. But I almost wish that it looked more like this. Although I haven't seen it, so maybe this is replicating one of the characters. Is she going to be playing some kind of space nun? She looks like a space nun, but I like it looks good. I like that this outfit. I would like to see maybe she would play a good a nun in a movie. Like a nunsploitation movie. Imagine a nunsploitation movie with Anya Taylor Joy. Kind of like a successor to The Witch. So I think the further we go up, the better the dresses, the better the outfits, right? At least mostly. Again, we get some standard stuff here. There's the director Dennis. Zendaya. This is one of the two outfits she wears. This is just a standard dress. Kind of not that interesting, I guess. But we'll get to the good stuff. You know, Here's a full shot, and we get a peek of what she's gonna be wearing, what she wears. But that took the internet by storm here, which is this freaking amazing robot armor here. What is this? Timothy, at least he's not wearing a suit, but it just looks a little bit too casual for this occasion, right? Like, you know, maybe look at Butler here and try to do something similar to that or something. Like, Timothy has some nice fashion. He's got some nice fits here and there. A lot of like more colorful suits and stuff. You know, but this one, for example, that would have been a cool flowy thing. You know, maybe he could be like a. It was kind of piratey, almost like a pirate, almost, right? I don't know. Like I feel like it's nice that it's like the chrome kind of matches her chrome a little bit, but it just looks too t-shirt and pants and too standard. Like could have done a little better. That's just a minor quibble. But here's the star. Here's the star of the freaking red carpet here. Like what? Look at this. Like I think they were inspired by Metropolis, that robot movie. Um, like completely dazzles you, doesn't it? And there's like I guess like a skin colored leotard or something she's wearing inside, so she's not. It looks like she's nude underneath, but not really. Um, you even got like a necklace going on here, like a jewel and silver necklace. I mean, compared him standing next to her, he looks so basic next to her. But like this makes me think like I kind of want a Dune movie or space movie with Zendaya in this suit. Like that looks like a much more fun movie. Let's watch that. He's fucking perplexed and shocked there. He's like, dang, maybe I should have made the wrong movie. He's thinking. Um, is an old outfit, right? Old outfit from the '90s. Welcome in, Shalir. Um, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Yeah, it's from this dude, this fashion designer dude. I have it here in a tab. Um, Robot costume used in a movie. Which movie was it used in? I saw pictures of it and like on the fashion show. I have it here somewhere. This one right here, yeah. It's originally by Thier Mugler from the 50s. This guy. Yeah, it's reminiscent of like of this Metropolis from 1927. Like it's a future version of it, and it also gives you vibes of like Barbarella. I think there's pictures of Barbarella around here. But like it makes me think like, dang, I kind of want to watch like a campy, space adventure movie with Zendaya as like this robot space, Queen or something. Like that seems like a fun movie. But yeah, definitely, definitely catch your attention. Also, it reminds me of this. Hajime Sorayama did a bunch of like robot pinups. Um, but yeah, imagine like a Barbarella movie with Zendaya in it, and maybe directed by a woman this time. But I think I'm still gonna watch that Dune movie. Um, might go to theaters for it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't like the first one that much. But maybe part two will redeem it. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been watching, what I've been looking at on the internet these days.